Today, guys, we'll be answering the question, does the struggles of dyslexia make us stronger? And we'll kind of go through this journey with you about telling you, okay, does it not? Why do people believe it is? Why do people believe it isn't? And I really feel it'll be so valuable to you to really understand the truth behind this. And guys, as always, please subscribe, please comment, please share this video if you think it'd be valuable. Do all those things, because let's face it, this is information that needs to be shared. Guys, take care, and I hope you enjoy today's episode. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be, or in other words, conquer their dyslexia? That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. Hey guys, I hope we're doing good, and I hope we're doing alright. Today I want to talk to us about, ask you a question and really walk through it with you. Do the struggles of dyslexia make us stronger, or do they not make us stronger? Like, for example, when I say the struggles of dyslexia, you know what I'm talking about. Going through school and going through life in general, feeling different, feeling like you can do that, but I find that really hard. Oh, everyone else is doing this reading and this writing in class, and I can't do that. And I feel scared, I feel worried, I feel a little bit maybe dumb, maybe a little bit stupid, maybe a little bit like something's wrong with me. And feeling these things and going through that, feeling these things, struggling, and you're trying to find answers to this solution. Well, maybe I'm different, but how can I pass this test? Oh, Les must work so much harder than anyone else. Or we cannot pass the test. That means I don't have to focus on it or focus on other people and I have to fight the system. Or however you decide to interpret it. We go through a lot of pain, whether we're diagnosed with our dyslexia or whether we're just not diagnosed with dyslexia and just have our dyslexic brain moving forward. And a lot of things happen, don't they? A lot of challenges happen. I know with myself, not like, one of the examples was I was in sixth form, and this is the point where I was like, okay, let's take responsibility of my dyslexia. Let's really work on it to improve, not responsibility over my dyslexia. So I wanted my confidence. My confidence is at the start of me taking responsibility. I have to improve my confidence in it, and I worked really, really hard on it. And I did improve my confidence. People were like, who are you and what have you done with Theo? And then I got really good at my fitness. And then I think this was the first year of my sixth form. They were doing basically, so what I really wanted to be more than anything else was a personal trainer. Be able to work in a gym and coach people to get stronger, to get fitter, to get more healthy. And I could see myself doing that because it's people oriented. I would love that, to do something in the job where I'm helping people like that. I thought this is the perfect fit for me. And of course what I had to do is pass the qualifications, because thank God they were doing them in school. In this school I was working at the time, or not working, going to at the time. And I was doing basically level 2 personal training with a YMCA course. So it's gym instruction, not personal training, which means you can work in the gym, you just couldn't train people one-to-one. And this quiz, and basically there was a test coming up. There was a practical and a theory test, and the theory test was there was 50 questions in a test, and if you got more than 43 of them wrong or 44 of them wrong, you couldn't pass. And I thought, oh, that's a very small margin, or you mean you're passing and failing. And I was like, okay, this is one of the only things the reason why I'm at this school, this is what I really want, this is where my future heading. And so I had, and I sort of said, because there's so many different answers that could come up, so many different things that come up, and this is months before the actual test. And I persisted the person teaching us, a very good personal trainer. What's his name? He is such a cool person. He has a certain style about him, and it was so funny. But basically, I was so persistent at school. I know there are a lot of teachers because I wanted to do so well. And I was like, okay, have you got a list with all the questions that could possibly be answered on it? because I think because he gave me a big stack of list. I think there was over 400 questions, possible questions that could they possibly answer in the test. I was like, okay, I want this, and I printed all of it out. And I remember, I got so obsessed. This is months before the actual test. I was working at home for a couple of hours. Every single I had this person daring that was helping me thanks to my statement and stuff. But every lunchtime, every break time, every free lesson, every free period, all the time I could was going through this 400-page Word thing and basically going through it. And after I do it, I'd print another one out, go through it, print another one out, until my scores got better and better and better and better. And then I was working so hard on it, and Darren was so annoyed. He said, "You want to work on that thing again?" I was like, "Yes, I have to get this right." And then the time come for the actual test, and there was because the class maybe 15 of us, and there's a little boxing group, and we went in the test room, and I worked so hard on it, and I kind of to be honest knew I was going to pass because I'd done all the tests. I worked incredibly hard on it. I knew I was going to pass. But what I found out, I passed and Dan was happy. I was like, oh yeah. I kind of worked for it. But the next day I found out it was me and only 2 other people out of the whole class passed. And yet everyone was motivated to do this because this was a job that we could all get into because they're all boxers. And it was me, Omar, and I think I can't remember this other name. But Omar, he's a person that he did have quite severe ASD, but the nicest person you'd ever dream of. But he was so smart and so meticulous on words. This other person who was quite academically quite good. But there's so many other people in that class that were academically, they could do really well. They knew all the stuff. And they thought I was an idiot, not being able to put my hand up, not answering any questions. But yet all these people failed the test, and me and only 2 others passed it. With loads of other people that was actually got good grades, but the reason was because of my work ethic doing that. The reason I worked so hard on it, and there's going to be other examples of, for example, my passing my theory and my driving test. Practice, that should be one of the hardest things, but I got the apps, I got obsessed on the apps. I spent every single spare hour on the apps learning how to pass my theory test. I did it first time twice because I practiced on it. And I think us as dyslexics, we can work so much harder than everyone else because we know that is the only solution we have, is to work harder than everyone else, is to really learn it and really get obsessed by it. But also because we've been through so much pain and we think, okay, the solution is working hard, and so many times that's for our benefit, but then maybe later in life is to our detriment because we work so hard on something, even though we beat ourselves up, we have to be better, we have to improve, and then we can kind of sabotage ourselves in a sense, I have to do this, it has to be perfect, it has to do this, I have to find a way on this, I have to do this. And we run ourselves into the ground by keep on doing, keep on working. And so what I feel, speaking to a lot of people about this question about does the challenges of dyslexia, reading and writing, all these other challenges may have some positives down the line because you've been through this experience. And I see this, there's 2 camps of people. There's one group of people that say definitely yes. These challenges I face, and God, there are a lot of challenges, and it's awful. But I'm stronger today because of those challenges. And they can work so much harder because of those challenges they faced. That's one group, and to be honest, that's the majority. There's some people out there that says, how can these challenges be in any way some sort of positive? These challenges held me back, these challenges stopped me doing these things, and I can't do anything else now. Because oftentimes these people who don't see it as some sort of advantage, you let the dyslexia use them. They had these challenges and then believed it was impossible. They believed they couldn't do it. They believed that, this challenge is insurmountable. I can't go through this. I can't pass this. And they don't pass it because they believe they can't. And they believe that it's a disability stopping them. The other group of people believe that, they may have believed it's a disability, but it doesn't stop them. It just maybe slows them down. They still worked through it. And ultimately it comes down to that, isn't it? It comes down to working through it, believing in yourself, believing you can do it. Because listen, there are two groups of people who would have had just the same amount of severity of dyslexia, but working through it. So I want to come to a conclusion here that, like, does the struggles of dyslexia give you some sort of advantage? Like some sort of advantage makes you learn how to work around problems, learn how to speak to people, learn how to problem solve, learn how to do these things, or it builds resilience, builds discipline, builds determination, builds willingness to do something, builds self-belief in ourselves. The difference between us having this experience and us believing, oh, it's negative, it stops me doing this, I can't, this is the reason why I'm failing, this is the reason why I can't, this is the reason I'll never go get my dreams, is one thing. You believe that this is a disability in your life, thinking it's stopping you, or you really try and take advantage of it and try and use this thing called dyslexia. Because it's like, there's a story I heard, it really tears me up emotionally. This person had really brittle bones, he was breaking them all the time, and it's getting really, really, really bad. And honestly, like, my mum always says, look, I'm lucky, I've got dyslexia. Look at other people who can't walk, who can't do these things. And anyway, this guy kept breaking his bones all the time. And he was like 16, 17 at the time, I believe. And he was so upset and so devastated about, why can't I be normal? Why can't I walk? Why can't I play games? And why can't I do that? He was saying to his mum in the kitchen. And his mum said to him something that, like, at the time seemed really rude, but it's so eye-opening. The mum said, are you going to let this thing stop you from living the life you want? Or are you going to let this be the reason to live a great life? Are you going to let this reason to be an example of what you want? And I think what he was saying there is, what the guy said, what he was saying there is, am I going to be a victim of my circumstances? Am I going to be a victim of the thing I was born with? Or am I really going to step up and make the most out of this opportunity I have? I think that's what we have to do, isn't it? Just try and make the most out of this thing we have. Anyway, guys, I hope you took some value from this, and I really want to add as much value as possible in these videos and give as much to you as possible. So please message me any recommendations or things you want to talk about. But anyway, guys, take care, farewell, and bye.